Okay, hello. We have another Q&A with our talented team behind Blurred Lines Dolphin-Style. And, I hope that's enough to pique your curiosity that you're going to want to check the link December 18th and 19th when the Twin Falls Sandwiches Film Festival goes online. But we're so happy to have the creative team, some of the creative team behind it. It is one of a kind music video that you'll want to check out. Why don't we have you introduce yourselves and your participation in the film?
I'll go first. I'm Suzan Averitt. I'm the director, and I helped out with a number of things. So many I don't remember, but they're probably in the credits. And oh yeah, it was my idea.
Hi, I'm Jeff Peters. I was, as Suzanne calls it, the lead dolphin. And, I was the one that also did all of the lyrics, rewrote the lyrics for the song, and got all the music together and vocals and such, and recorded it. And I was also the editor of the video.
Hi, I'm Andy Forrest. I'm Andy Forrest, and I was one of the actors in it. I was the guy at the beach, and I helped a little bit with setup too.
Great. It definitely had a collaborative feel to it, as most indie projects do, which is, I think, the charm of indie projects. I mean, I think that's what I love indie filmmaking so much. It is so collaborative. And as Suzanne says, you're wearing multiple hats. And it's really something that, your piece really had a lot of like spirit and fun. And you can tell that you all got along well together. So that was nice. So Suzanne, I can't wait for people to see this because, the first thing you think of after you see it is like, how did it all come together? I know your background is very interesting. You have a very interesting background in performance art and, in variety of very incredibly creative projects. So how did this come about?
I had watched the original video. I did not have a problem with the sexism. I think there were two videos, and the second one, and they were both directed by Diane Martel. And the second one was more, they were doing advertising, like selling alcohol and that sort of thing. The first one is the one with the nudity. And I was just, wow, this video is so well directed. And then at the same time, Jeff had been invited, we were invited to Hawaii because Jeff is a Buddy Holly impersonator. And
was.
And they invited us to Hawaii, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. What should we do on Hawaii? Well, what about swimming with the dolphins? So I looked it up, and the first thing I find is a plethora of information about dolphins attacking people and dating them in a way that's unacceptable. And so, I mean, it was link after link after link. I thought, oh, well, we should probably put these two together. And that's what happened.
Of course. What a
Did you know that about dolphins?
Yeah, what a logical conclusion.
Were you aware that dolphins are aggressively date people if they can?
No, and it is alarming because I do know dolphins are incredibly intelligent, but you think of them as being so friendly, and this is overly friendly, I guess. But I also
but you read the stuff about Lily, right? John Lilly, the scientist.
The movie Day of the Dolphin that starred George C. Scott was about John.
Oh,
okay.
At that point in their exploration, they were becoming intimate with the dolphins in order to explore psychedelics and intimacy and that sort of thing, which we did not do.
Oh, I didn't know.
But it isn't.
I didn't know that. I know of the movie, but I'll look into that. But the other thing is, I think, nowadays we have an overload of information, and it's just interesting what information you process. But when you said that, the first thing I thought of was like, oh, it must be a residual impact from the way dolphins are treated now. Even dolphins in the wild, like they're adapting, and then also dolphins in captivity. There's a lot about that, how their behavior is really not natural.
That's very interesting. I hadn't thought about that. And I assumed that you're very right. I mean, look at all the animals nowadays that just want to be petted. I mean, every animal out there seems to want to be petted. Alligators, capybaras, badgers, porcupines.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show
Amazing.
you the imprint that the footprint that humans have made, on the earth, and it's just interesting. So Andy, you've worked with these crazy kids before?
Yeah, we've done a number of things. We shot a Jeff looks a little bit like Putin, so we did a sketch with Jeff playing Putin, and I've done a lot of sketches over the years, and so I have a green screen set up, and we utilized that, but I was mostly just an actor on it. So,
Are you an actor by trade, or is it just?
I am. I played the role of Kyle in Parks and Recreation. I was at the Shoeshine stand there,
Oh,
and I've
really?
done a lot of other stuff too, but commercials and such. So.
Oh, I'll look into that. Even though I live in Los Angeles, I probably watch less TV than certainly the average person, but I almost watch zero TV. Like I'm sad to say I've never seen an episode of Parks and Recreation. I mean, I know of it and I know how popular it's been, but I just don't watch TV. So, but yeah, that's amazing. So
that's why I do independent film, because I need to reach your audience too. So
yeah. I think it's not, and it's actually not a comment on network TV. It's just because for a long time I didn't have a TV, so that was my primary excuse. How are things going now with how we're adapting? How are you finding things?
Well, it's pretty much everything's gone to streaming right now. Like even independent film and films are going to like they're releasing films on video now just because that's how people can see them.
Yeah.
But it's been very, very slow, very slow.
Yeah, we just have to muscle through it. So, so Jeff, then you're also a performer as well, but seems like it's more based with music.
Yeah, I played in bands for 25 years or so and did recording studio stuff, and that's what I do now. I'm more in management and actually have what they call a day job these days. So, but for first part of my life, that's all I did, and then I started doing acting when I came out here. That's how I met Andy. It's really odd. Suzanne knew Andy and had done a play with Andy. She had directed a play that Andy was in. I met Andy through somebody completely different, and then wound up in a acting class with him, and we became friends.
Yeah.
And then I met Suzanne.
And he was in a reading of a play I wrote.
Yeah. So we've kind of been around each other for a good almost 20 years. Just off and on doing little projects and stuff like that. Andy and I did a web series for a while where he directed most of it, and he's being modest about the setup. He had a 20-foot green screen, and the whole thing was shot with a 20-foot green screen and some lighting. We couldn't have done it.
We could not have done it without Andy.
Without Andy being there,
right.
Just for him being an actor, but I mean, offering his green screen and such.
Oh, great! Thanks for bringing that up. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say we knew everyone in the shoot. Oh, sorry. Because we'd worked with him before in I knew them all anyway, in various venues, especially Rick. We'd worked with him many times. But
I only really knew Andy. And so I met the other people that day.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was, I was going to mention is like, it looks beautiful. Like you guys did a really great job. And that does go to your setup, Andy, because it was amazing. You guys really pulled off quite a technically, complex, shoot. It was all green screen. But yeah.
Yeah, we shot the ocean out at Matador Beach, just north of Malibu. So we went out there. Suzanne and I went out there and shot B-roll. That's where we got the cave and the ocean shots, and we just shot different views of the ocean. So it was punched in. I could punch in on the ocean, and so on. So I had all these cuts of ocean to match up with however it was being shot, close up or far away, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and we should mention for those viewers that are watching this before the actual film, no dolphins are harmed in the filming of this. So
No.
Yeah.
Well, there's no dolphins in it.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
Well, thanks so
The-
much.
the there's the personification of dolphins.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, before
But,
we go,
you know-
I wanted to show Andy this and see if he remembers. That's the towel you wore.
That's your costume, Andy. We use it. It's called Andy's towel.
Does it still have my scent on it?
It's been washed a few times since then. So yeah, no.
Well, you know, it's unfortunate that we're online this year, but then I think the flip side is I'm going to get to actually meet more filmmakers than I normally do, because at the event itself, I'm limited to who's there. And then also, you know, time-wise, you know, it's just you don't get the quality time. So it's such a pleasure to get to see you and meet you and hear a little bit about the process behind your project. It's really a lot of fun. It's exactly what we need right now.
Now,
thank
is
you.
your title there? Is your title there the Earl of Sandwich?
No, I wish. But it's a wonderful festival. I hope you'll keep us on your radar. And next year, hopefully, we'll be live. It's a wonderful regional festival because we get so much local support. The filmmakers that attend are wined and dined and treated like royalty. And
So are you sending
You know,
over pizza later?
yeah. Oh, sure, come on over. But you know what Jeff was saying, how you guys were in the same orbit, but you didn't know, you know. So I had dreamed up the Sandwiches Film Festival because I had, you know, I wanted something unusual to kind of stand out. And Sandwiches stands for, like, S is for shorts, A is for animated. You know, every it spells out, you know, the type of genres I wanted to include. And so I had gotten the theater and I got a crew, old friends from Idaho. We'd all lined up. And then after we had like kind of settled on this event, I was told, you know, next door to the theater is the Twin Falls Sandwich Company. I was like, no, I did not know. And then I went to like pitch for sponsors and I met Shane Cook, who's the proprietor. And I had this huge presentation, you know, and he's like, yeah, whatever you need. Because he's like, people were asking me about my film festival. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So it's like one of those things that just happened to work out, you know, and it's a wonderful event. And I hope you keep us on your radar and I hope you can attend one day. I hope we all can attend one day.
Yeah.
In the future.
Well, thank you
We definitely will.
for picking us out as
Yeah.
well out of the submissions. We
Yes,
appreciate it.
thank you very much.
I love it. It's super creative and it's super different, and you guys did a great job. Okay.
Well,
Thank you,
Thank
Eric.
you.
Thanks so much for and check out Blurred Lines Dolphin-Style.